Here we are live, starting the week off with the hottest happy hour in STL. Get your mocktails, your cocktails, whatever it is, and join us and have some fun. We've got some great guests on with us today, and we'll be introducing and letting you know who those are just shortly. But our question of the day is, if you could be crowned champion of any food competition, what dish would it be? Do you have a dish, Gordon? I mean, you make great eggs, but
I guess eggs would be it.
how about that pancake you make in a skillet?
The
Like the pancake house
Dutch
makes.
baby,
Yeah, that was really
like at the
good.
Pancake House in Chesterfield.
That was really good.
That's where I got it from.
Anything else I'm not aware of?
Yeah. All of it together? I hope not.
And they're whipping things up all the time. But you have that earpiece in.
I
so
do
you
have the
keep turning your
earpiece in.
head like you're wearing a neck brace or something like that.
I know, because I don't want to. It's like pulling on my back. So
Yeah. So it's like every time you turn
the
your
hidden
head, you're
gems
really
of recording live,
you
right?
get this
It's like,
thing sticking out of your head. Maureen Welling says hers would be gooey butter cakes. So I definitely would need to try those. Let's see, some really good fried chicken, Greg Foppel says. Amy Bratton, my kugel. You ever heard of a kugel?
no.
She said it is where'd it go? A Jewish dish served hot. It's sweet with lots of sugar and cinnamon. And she said she makes a mean creme brulee, which that's one of your favorites. So we'll give a few of these other ones as we move along. But I've never heard of a kugel. I was going to look it up, but I kind of
So go ahead. I'll keep looking up while you're.
kind of ran out of time.
How do you spell it?
Kugel. And I guess it's just kugel. She says my kugel. She said it's a family recipe, so I'm not for sure. But did you know that?
That's what it is.
Wow, it looks really good actually. We'll have to ask her to bring that and the creme brulee into the show then, since she went and bragged about it. We want to taste it. I don't know if I have one exactly. Could it be lasagna? When I really try?
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, hey, hi.
I'm good. I'm good.
Could it be lasagna? I don't know if I'm really that great at anything. I did win an award for my chocolate chip cookies when I had the restaurant.
You're the queen of finding. So if we were like the movie we were watching the other night, where it's like something happens to the world and you'd only have so much food left, you're the queen of finding cans and boxes and creating an amazing smorgasbord of food out of it.
That's because I like to mix things. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's because there's no time and I
You are
make something in 5
She mixes
minutes.
everything. She mixes.
Oh, mixing.
She'll mix like potato chips. She had to have the potato chips mixed. The popcorn has to be mixed.
Popcorn's with M&Ms.
Yeah,
Who
and I was
doesn't
a
do
kid.
that?
I didn't like anything mixed.
So your peas can't touch your mashed
Well,
potatoes.
they can
and
now, but when I
corn.
was a kid, it's like no, everything had to be. Yeah, give
Going to
me
the same spot. Your M&Ms and
give me
popcorn
the
do not
portion
divide in
plate.
your
The
stomach.
plates that you always get had little portion
kid
holes in
things.
them. Yeah.
Those are perfect. 85 million Lego bricks. Can you imagine that? That is what Shanghai, their new theme park, is made of. That's absolutely incredible to think about that.
How big are the bricks? Are they just normal?
Well, they're
size
tiny.
Legos?
I mean, they're very tiny,
You ever
but
stepped on a Lego?
they hurt. They do
Never
hurt,
forget
that
it.
is for sure. But 85 million to build a theme park. Shangri-La.
How long did it take?
I don't know how long
Oh.
it takes. I'm sure it took a long time for them to
Well,
do
you told me
that.
how many. I thought you said.
Yeah, I wish I could show the picture to everyone else, but that's pretty cool though, I think. So would you like to know what makes cool people? There's 6 traits
Makes
that
a cool
apparently
person.
make a cool person. Samuel Jackson has them. David Bowie has them. But let's see if you have them. So if you're cool, you would be extroverted, hedonistic, sorry, I kind of said that a little wrong. Powerful, adventurous, open, and autonomous. That makes a cool people. What do you think?
I probably have 4 out of the 5.
Okay, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You need one more and you'll be super cool.
I'm extroverted sometimes and I can be introverted
Me
sometimes.
too, and no one believes it.
Yeah,
No one believes I can be that. Because I think you want to shut down.
right.
I don't like people after a while.
No, I don't.
They kind of get on my nerves after all day of them. I don't want to be around them anymore. So today on the show, before we talk a little bit about some celebrity buzz, we are going to have Mark Mueller on the show. You've heard of Mueller Furniture and Mattress?
Yes, but you're already saying it wrong.
Sorry. Well, I'm Miller because he told me the right way to say it. But then I made the mistake of reading. And when you read, it's not spelled
It goes
M-I-L-L-E-R.
right to that,
So
yes.
it's spelled M-U-E-L-L-E-R. So now I have the spelling correct. So that's what happened. But apparently, what we didn't know is that he is a baseball player and he's won a huge award for it, and it runs in the family. So we are going to be talking about that. And then Lion's Choice, one of your favorites, Tina Bryan is coming in, and we're going to talk about the sandwich that was crowned the first ultimate sandwich smackdown. And then, of course, they just won the big award, the um, uh, USA Sandwich of USA. Sorry, we'll get her to say it. It was a big deal.
She'll tell us about it when she comes
Yeah,
on.
well, that's not actually why she's coming on. Remember, we talked about it on there when their sandwich, Lion's Choice, won the US. What's it, you know?
She's clicking me.
Darn
Help
it.
me. Get me out of here.
Get me out of
I
here.
don't know. I don't know what it was called.
You don't remember talking about it and showing this the roast beef sandwich
Yeah, but it's
won the
been a while.
iconic award?
And we're just coming off of a holiday weekend.
That's true. Sorry about that. But yeah, so but this is like a new actual, I guess contest that they
Well,
have.
the sandwich we're talking about today, I did see a billboard on the way here.
Oh, you
It
did?
was up on a billboard today. So we're gonna
I guess I was
we'll just
reading
leave that as a
it.
teaser and we'll let you
Yeah,
talk about it.
and
here in a
miss talking about that. But anyway, so that's some cool stuff that we're going to be doing today in the 4 o'clock show. And then is there anything before I give some celebrity?
No, I
love, or
have
did you-
absolutely nothing today for you, except for the fact that we had a great time for the 4th of July weekend. We went out
I
on the
love being
boat.
out on the river.
Little plug for Freedom Boat Club. We are members of Freedom Boat Club, and that's a good time because you don't have to own a boat. What do they say? The best 2
buy a boat,
days
you
is the
sell a
day you
boat.
buy it and the day you sell it. And
Yeah.
so with Freedom Boat Club, you don't have to have those 2 best days. You just have
No.
every day is a great day.
So our restaurant of choice or our pick, we'd love to pick, place in St. Louis or Illinois to be able to go to. We went to the Pirates of the Mississippi, right?
Yes.
Pirates of the Mississippi. So it's in Illinois. It's in the Mississippi part of the river. Such a cool place. They have probably, I don't know, 25 different pirates. They got a rubber ducky pirate now, huge. They have the great big woman. I mean, she's probably what, 18 feet or I don't
Well, she was the Uniroyal woman.
Yes.
So what she is, yeah, she's like about 15 feet tall. She has a red outfit on, but she was the Uniroyal woman from the 60s. And she was actually fashioned after Jackie Onassis.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say Wonder Woman.
And if
She
you
got
look
Wonder
at her, she
Woman.
looks like Jackie
Yeah,
Onassis.
that's true. She's
But-
huge.
And then I found out the reason why they have all these cool figurines and giant displays of stuff is they owned the antique mall on Highway 55, where they
That's
have the
right.
giant robot guy,
Pink
spaceship
pony
guy.
or something, or
Huh?
what was the name? Pink pony or pink
No, the pink elephant.
elephant? I knew it was
Pink
some kind of
elephant, yep.
animal.
But they owned that for a while, which has a ton of giant figurines, a giant spaceship outside, and those things were actually in movies, which is kind of cool.
That's really cool. But it's a cool. They keep adding on. It seems like since we've been there, they've added on a whole new deck and plus a dock, so you can pull your boat up because they didn't have that before. So you'd be like slopping into the mud to be able to go there. But if you want to try somewhere different, maybe you want to take a drive and hit some of the antique malls and that, which that's how
That's
we
what
ended
we
up
did.
finding it. Was taking a drive in old towns. That's where we found it, and then of course knew that we could get there by boat, and so we experienced it.
It's in Batchtown,
friends.
Illinois.
Batchtown, Illinois. Okay,
Batchtown,
I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Well, Justin Bieber's detox selfies. He just posted sweaty Jim selfies. He's saying that he's in a good place following the birth of his son,
I thought he
Blackjack
was already-
Blues.
See, I can't keep up with
No,
Justin Bieber,
did you
'cause-
see the video? It was pretty bad of him.
but I thought he had gotten all detox and he was singing Christian-like songs and all the songs. And then did he relapse again?
It does happen. I don't have the skinny on
Can't
it,
keep up with the celebrities.
but luckily though he is doing good. So Kelly Osbourne, remember we used to watch the show? It kind of gave us a little insight to Ozzy Osbourne's life when they had that reality show.
You definitely have to have the captions on when Ozzy spoke. So I
I
didn't
could not understand at all.
all.
Well, his dad or her dad, Ozzy, had a farewell concert, and
Yep.
Kelly got engaged backstage to Sid Wilson from Slipknot during the final Black Sabbath show in Birmingham. So they've been together since 22 and actually have a son, so he's a grandpa. But have you been at a concert where anything wild has happened or something surprise on stage?
Surprise on stage? No, it wasn't really a surprise on stage.
There she is getting engaged. She was
Yeah.
surprised.
I got 2 things. So it wasn't a surprise on stage, but I went and saw Supertramp back in the 80s.
Okay.
And then I left the venue where we saw Supertramp, which was the Kiel Opera House before it was renovated. And then we went down to Mississippi Nights, and about 20 minutes after we were there, Supertramp walks in and they get
Oh,
on
that's
stage
super cool.
and they play like a 20-minute jazz set, which was kind of
Oh
cool.
my
So that was
gosh, I love
surprising.
Supertramp. That would have been amazing to see
Other
that.
one was I took my daughter. She loves jazz. I took her to see David Sanborn, a bunch of jazz artists, and we were trying to get a T-shirt at the end, and lo and behold, it was the tour manager. He goes, and we couldn't get the right size. And he goes, "What can I do to make it up to you?" I go, "Well, she's a big fan," and she goes,
You're gonna say she's a big girl.
She's a big fan. She's a big fan of it was Dave Koz, not Dave Sanborn. It's Dave Koz. I go, she's a big fan of Dave Koz. And he goes, "Oh, would you like to meet him?" And I was
Oh,
like,
perfect.
"Sure." So we get to go backstage and meet everybody that was on.
Don't you
on
love when a
stage. So it was
mistake
kinda
happens,
cool.
it all works out for you?
And he actually posted a picture of him and my daughter on his website, which was kind
Oh,
of
very
Yeah.
cool. Tom Brady, he spent his fourth on a yacht
Go,
party.
can't
and
get
a-
away from
and
him.
I know you love Tom Brady. And he was spotted partying on the yacht, which with Dakota Johnson and Kate Hudson. So would you rather spend your fourth on a yacht or on the beach
On a yacht.
with Dakota
Right.
Johnson and Kate Hudson?
Sure. We can leave Tom Brady off.
Leave him off the ship. Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Well, there's your. Oh, of course you had to show them in their bikinis. Of course.
It was
That
Kate
made,
Hudson, actually.
that made it all.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that was Dakota Jennings.
It's got dark hair. It was Kate Hudson.
Could you tell?
I could tell because TMZ had some other photos of him. And
Oh, you've already looked.
yeah, I was trying to find the good ones.
Of course you did. Well, let's not wait any longer. Let's go ahead and bring our guests to the camera and let you meet Mark Mueller, owner of Mueller Furniture and Mattress, and he has been recognized for his outstanding performance in the sport. The Greater St. Louis Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame committee has chosen Mark to join their 51st class of inductees. Super cool, and welcome to the show.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
having me.
being here. Really, I just swivel my chair around. Poop, and there you are.
And there he
That's amazing. Thanks for spending some time with us and talking about this. That's just an incredible honor, not to mention you come from a baseball legend. Now, we've read about your grandfather. So tell us a little bit about your grandfather, and is there anyone else that we're not aware of?
Yeah, Grandpa, he really kind of, helped family fall in love with the game. He pitched almost 20 innings in one major league game. No one's done it or come close since. And, he taught me how to pitch in summer of '93. And I've been doing it ever since. And it's really cool, once you don't aspire, you don't go to the major leagues, right? Like eventually everybody gets cut, and
Yeah.
so they said, you're done with your professional baseball career, and then but to still play and have a great level of competition. And St. Louis is such a baseball crazy town. We're lucky we've got these great men's leagues to play in, where guys like me at 43 can still compete against really top-notch college level athletes in the Montclair League and the MSPL League and things like that. It's pretty cool. So
And where did you grow up at?
I'm from Belleville.
From Belleville?
Yep, Belleville,
Okay.
Illinois. That's where our furniture store. We've been there since 1927. Grandpa, he got signed because he struck 30 batters out in a high school game for Belleville Township. 13 inning game, he struck out 30 batters. That will get you noticed, right? Just really cool. Love the game, and any kind of honor and notoriety like this, getting elected into Hall of Fame, that's just icing on the cake.
Now, did you go to Belleville West or Belleville East?
Belleville East.
Belleville East. Okay. My dad taught at Belleville West, so I was wondering.
Yeah.
There.
And your grandfather was Les Mueller.
Yep.
And he actually pitched in the 1945 World Series.
That's right.
The Detroit
Yeah.
Tigers.
At the time of his death, he was
Fortunately,
the
you couldn't
last.
be there.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
At the time of his death, he was the last living person to have pitched against the Cubs in a World Series game.
Really?
So, yeah, we've got all that really cool memorabilia at Miller Furniture. Some of his game used gloves, like baseball gloves from the 1930s. Trust me, the 30s and early 40s. They did not look like the gloves they're using today.
No.
So we've got some of those at our Belleville
Have you
store.
been to Rawlings?
I have, yeah.
That's the first time I really was able. I took our grandsons, and you're walking along, and it's showing you how the gloves evolved. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that until being able to see that. So that's cool that you have that as well.
Yeah, there's some similar. There's one in that looks very similar to his 1938, glove that he used in the minor leagues.
That's
So
incredible.
we were talking to Ed Wheatley, We had
Yeah.
him on our show, and we were talking about the baseball gloves, and he said, you never forget what your first baseball glove is. So do you remember what your first baseball glove, and do you still have it?
It was a Rawlings. It was kind of like cinnamon brown, and I didn't know how to break it in right, and so it got broken poorly. So I don't have it. But the second glove I had was broken in perfect, and it was more of an infielder style glove, and that was a Louisville, Louisville Slugger. That was pretty
Louisville
nice.
Slugger.
Yeah, that's
And then
good.
and a pitching glove is very different from and that's other things I'm learning. I didn't know that you had different gloves depending on the position that you're playing.
Yeah, definitely. Typically, I like to use more of an infield style glove. That way I can field a bunt. I don't want a big outfielder's glove. It's hard to feel those little squivers.
Right.
So you're currently playing for the Belleville Rockies?
Yep.
So what's that like? I mean, so is there an age? Is there like an age from so and so to play in that league?
The majority of the players are between probably 19 and 25, like either in college currently playing or maybe a few years out. So there's not too many guys that play, say, after the age of 35. Me, I was lucky enough. I had children late in life, so I've got an 8-year-old daughter, 4-year-old boy, and I'm not coaching their teams yet, so I've been able to play in modern physical therapy has saved my career many times. Without for the Rich Wager and Logan Wager at SSM Physical Therapy, I would have been done in 2006.
It's that pitching. I mean, we're just watching our grandson who's 12 and he pitched his first game and you just see his little arm. And then when I took pictures, I
His
could
little arm. You see,
see
where this is going. His little arm. Oh my gosh, I feel so sorry
one
for
after the
him.
other, and there's a lot of movement to it. When you're taking pictures and you're snapping it, then you go back and look at it and you see the body, how it contorts to throw. And literally he was down to the ground when he finished. And I'm thinking, that's a lot of movement for the body.
Yeah.
Like you might catch at first base, but you're pitching continuously.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love it. It's the preparation for it. So training to be a pitcher is fantastic. You have to be strong. You have to be explosive. You have to be flexible. You have to mentally control yourself. I mean, between the ears is just like Yogi Berra said, 90% of this game is mental, the other half's physical. If you lose it between the ears on the mound, it's a lonely place to be. Let me tell you, it's happened.
Until everybody comes out to surround you to tell you that it's
you're
time for you to take a break.
Yeah.
On the butt, you're done.
Yeah. But that preparation, getting your body ready to perform like that, it's great. And that's where I see a ton of similarities to the furniture business because I'm preparing Monday and Tuesday for my big sales on Saturday and Sunday. Just like now, I pitched Saturday. I am sore. I threw 7 innings and 120 pitches Saturday. I am hurting today, but you know what? I got stuff to do so I can be ready for next week. Yeah. And I need to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to pitch well next week. Same thing. We've got this half price sale going on at Miller Furniture. We sold a lot of furniture out of stock. And guess what? I got to figure out what to replenish it with. Because somebody takes a bedroom set off the floor. I've got a beautiful one in the warehouse, but if I don't connect the dots and get it done, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So, we're all, it's the preparation, that leads to the successful outcomes later. And that's the correlation I see between sports and business in this sense.
And that's what I was going to ask you, from the baseball field to the showroom. I mean, you built a legacy in both areas and continuing to keep a family, business so strong. So what do you think, starting out as a young player, what do you think that's done for you to build the kind of person that you are today to inspire other young people out there that might be on their way?
Yeah, well, you got to play your position in a team. You're not always, when you get on a team, you're not always going to go right to like a leadership role, right? You got to kind of identify the room. Who are the leaders in this room? And then you got to prove yourself. So just because somebody might come in a highly touted player or, oh, this person's a great salesperson, you got to prove yourself in every new opportunity. So you prove yourself, kind of see where you fit in, and you go, you know what? There is a little bit of a leadership gap here. Maybe I can be a little bit more vocal once I've got credibility with my peers, whether that's in business or on a team. And so you just try to figure out how to be a part of a winning team And the great similarities between business and sports. There's a ton of similarities between business and sports. I had a guy say one time, business is the ultimate sport because you can play it even after your body falls apart.
Right.
That's
So let me ask you this then. So who's your best reliever at Miller Furniture when you're not around? So who's the reliever that's going to come in and take over for you?
Oh, like, well, my director of sales is Michael Whipfler. He's definitely full of energy and with the customers and everything like that. But definitely, my best quote unquote relief pitcher would be my wife, Viviana. So
Good.
my wife, she runs the store in Lake St. Louis, and she's got a tremendous eye for design and room plan for guys that can't visualize. She's able to put together these boards, and you look at it and you go, oh my God, that's beautiful. That's what I want. Makes it easy.
Yeah. Tell us about the Hall of Fame moment, though.
Yeah, what was that like?
I got a
What was
phone
that
call
like?
on Thanksgiving morning from one of my
Great
ex-coaches.
day to get a call.
Yeah, it was cool. It made my day. It really did. Mike Dunnigan called me and let me know and say, hey, congratulations, you've been selected to the St. Louis Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame. And wow, that was special. Just looking up to Grandpa all those years and just trying to, obviously I never became a major league player, but I always aspired to be that. And, I made it to the level that I made it. I gave it everything I could. And it's nice to get, some recognition at the end, like, hey man, you did have some game. You're in the Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame. We're the best of the guys that didn't make it, right? And there's a lot of guys that
Yes,
didn't make
absolutely. What is it? It's a very small percentage.
People don't realize how tough that is. That's not an
Yeah.
easy feat,
Yeah.
to make it to the major leagues.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. It's
It's
those
tough.
guys are really, really good. We're really, really good some
Yeah.
of the time.
You know
They're
what?
really good all the time.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
I say that all the time with what they get paid. I think there
Oh.
should never be a moment where they mess up.
What's the old joke when they mess up? Is I could have done that for half the money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So what are the qualities? What do they look at? What makes them give you that call? I know it means you're good, but what is it that they really level this on or make this decision?
Well, a combination of things. I think it's longevity. How long, and also just kind of like the non-measurables, right? Like you can look at somebody's stats over 10 or 15 years in a variety of these amateur leagues. But, Miller Furniture's always been a big supporter, sponsoring teams and just kind of being a part of the community. That
Yeah.
goes a long way. And, when somebody asks for help, we give it. And I don't know, I think I tell really good jokes and and people
That must have done it.
people know me for my good jokes and crazy sayings that I yell out on the field to just liven the place up. So I provide a little entertainment out
And tell us where your locations are, Mark.
Belleville, Illinois since 1927, Lake St. Louis since 2017, Ellisville on Manchester Road, just up the street, since 2021, and Fairview Heights in what used to be weekends only when they went out of business. We bought that building. That was 2023. So 4 stores, got
Yeah.
the St. Louis area surrounded. So wherever you live, you're probably not more than 20 minutes from one of our stores.
Are you looking at any other ones, or right now you're good with where you're at? You never know what might happen.
Our rallying cry this year is excellence in action. So we are all about trying to just become a world-class organization for what we are right now. And of course, if we become that, other opportunities are going to surface.
Sure, absolutely.
So yeah, we're looking. There's a couple areas
Never know what might happen,
You
right?
never know.
Mark Mueller with Miller Furniture, 4 locations, from Illinois to St. Louis, to be able to serve your needs. We appreciate you coming in. Congratulations. What an honor to
Yeah,
be able to
absolutely.
be in the Amateur Baseball Hall of Fame. And then an incredible owner of a business that you're helping people to transform their homes and be able to enjoy where they live. So thank you for spending some time with us here on In Your City Show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, you're listening to In Your City Show right here at the luinfo.com on demand, where you want to find your favorite shows, audio. You can go to your favorite podcast site. And of course, at In Your City Show, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and we'd love you to subscribe. We're going to be back with Tina Bryan, find out about Lion's Choice, which is going to make us hungry. But if you are needing some furniture in the future, definitely want to check out Miller Furniture. And you never know, you might be able to talk to Mark and shake his hand as well. So
And see his ring.
and see his ring. It's really beautiful. Go ahead, hold that up and show everybody.
Wait, let me get the camera on it. There we go.
Close up. There it is. Congratulations. We'll be back with more right here on In Your City Show. Always sit down.
And everything in one.
That's right. Our question of the day, of course, is if you could be crowned champion of any food competition, what dish would it be? We forgot to ask Mark Mueller what it was. So we're going to make sure to ask you, our guest, Tina Bryan, the director of marketing at Lion's Choice. And Gordon got all excited when he walked in and saw those sitting on the table.
I'm
So
seeing Lion's Choice.
Yes.
thank you for being here.
That's a very good question. I would have to say my French fries.
French fries.
French
You
fries.
make a mean French
Yes,
fry.
we make a mean French
Oh, yes, you
fry.
do.
Yes, you do.
And you can get a lot in there. You know, if it's
In there.
competition, you know what I mean? You can eat them fast, right? You
Right?
gotta think of it like that strategically.
Oh, so you got a great shirt on there, the
Yes,
Lion's Choice
yes,
t-shirt.
T-shirt. I
And-
represent them.
That's wonderful. He is a big Lion's Choice
you like
fan.
Lion's
He
Choice.
definitely loves that. So
Good.
you're here today after weeks of bracket style matchups and fan voting. Lion's Choice has officially crowned its first ultimate sandwich smackdown champ.
winner. Yeah.
You say it because I might butcher
Yes,
it.
yes.
El
El
Cubano.
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 Wow,
Yes.
that's exciting news.
You
What
know,
a fun thing. Tell
It
us how
was
this
so
started.
exciting. It's something new for our brand. And what we did is we used our social media channels to just say, hey, if you were going to have a sandwich at Lion's Choice, what sandwich would you make? You've got to use all the ingredients that we have, but how would you do your combo? We had over 500 entries. And yes, I read every single one of the sandwiches that people entered. And so it was a bracket style competition where we lined up the sandwiches between one another and you voted and that sort of thing. And it came down to the final 16 and the final 8, then the final 4, the final 2, and the winner was the El Cubano. And so that now is a permanent sandwich on our menu at all Lion's Choices.
So they can only use your ingredients, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Use something else. So Ben Hamlin, actually of the Renaissance Hotel,
He's awesome.
he's
Yes,
the one that
he's the
came up
winner.
with his sandwich.
He's the winner. He's the inventor of the El Cubano, and we got him this really cool, like a wrestling style belt. You know how yes. So
There it is.
he loved that belt. It's all blinged out.
Is he wearing it to
loves
work?
that belt, yes. And
That's
so-
really cool that you thought of
Yes.
doing the belt smackdown.
Yes,
You know,
the
to it.
Smackdown, exactly.
What? There's the sandwich right there. That looks amazing. Oh my
It's really
goodness.
good, and it's a great seller. It's selling so well. It's a big sandwich, and so we cut it in half, right? So you can, eat it all, or you can save some for later. But it's got our roast beef on there, along with some spicy mustard, and it's got some turkey. It's served on our French bread. And it's just delicious. It also has pickles, and we have the best dill pickles. If you're a Lion's Choice fan, you know that. So it's got some dill pickles in it too.
Good.
I love the fact that you've, reached out to your fan base, to your people who are faithful Lion's Choice to say, hey, what would you like to see? That's really cool. Rather than just coming up with something and see if it makes it.
Right.
You reached out. And what
Exactly.
kind of outreach did you have? How many people did you have, enter?
Oh, goodness. So we reached out on our social media channels
Right.
and also those that are part of our rewards program. We let them know about it, but you entered via the social media channels. So we had over 500 entries. And so
Wow.
the sandwiches were
That's a
everything
lot.
from, just your normal roast beef sandwich with kind of the toppings somebody likes, to somebody put literally every ingredient on the sandwich, including broccoli.
Okay. I wouldn't want to judge that.
I was just going to ask you, what was the most interesting
Yeah.
one? So that's probably
Yeah, but we did have some that put mac and cheese on there. And so
Ooh.
we're like, ooh.
You probably would have liked that one. You
Yeah,
love that
yeah.
one.
Good, yes.
I
Some
think
used
go
our
wrong.
chicken, some used our, so it's just a mix of everything.
So take the roast beef and then smother it in mac and cheese and put a bun on it. I think that would
does sound pretty
that
good.
would-
That does sound good, doesn't it? With our chicken sandwich, we have a great chicken sandwich, and so they put mac and cheese on the chicken sandwich.
So
all kinds
can you
of-
mention what the runner-up was?
Yes, the runner-up was actually Felina, who you met just earlier. She
Oh, really?
was the runner-up. Yes, and so her sandwich had roast beef on there with some spicy peppers and some cheddar cheese.
Ooh, that
And so
sounds good.
yes, so she was, and some onion as well. So she was the
So not all of them were roast beef. They could have been a ham or a
Could've been
chicken or
anything.
anything.
Could've
Not,
been
didn't have to be your signature roast beef.
Exactly.
Gosh, so
Exactly.
now talk a little bit about Lion's Choice. I mean, you've been around a long time, and what's really cool is you're a St. Louis staple. I mean,
We
this
are.
is where it started and
We're a
where it
St. Louis
is.
icon, yes. And so we've been around over 50 years. And right now we have 21 locations here in St. Louis. And so of course we're known for our roast beef, right? And we're always going to be known for our roast beef.
Sure.
But we have a very wide menu. I love our turkey.
I do too.
Our
Yep.
turkey sandwich is
And the
great.
ham is
And
good
the
too.
ham is
Yeah, I
great.
always get the ham.
Yes, we have a lot of gluten-free items. So like our chicken sandwich is gluten-free. Our fries are gluten-free. We won awards for our fries.
I was going
right?
to say, what's the secret
Yeah.
ingredient for the fries? Because
She's
the
gonna have to
fries,
sue you if she tells you.
it's got to be the oil you cook it in, because it's got a different flavor
It
than
does,
any
doesn't
other
it?
type of fry. that's out
What's
there.
interesting about the way we cook our fries is that we never compromise on the potatoes that we use, right? We've used the same vendor forever, but then it's a 3-step process where we brine them and then we blanch them. So we just fry them for just a little bit and then we finish frying them. So it's that 3-step process that makes them so good.
Do you know what
I like how they have the kind of like the skin on the
The
end of the
natural
fry.
fat. Mhm.
Do you know what
The
brine
natural fat.
means?
Not really.
Brine?
Soak them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, soak
Yeah,
them.
soak them. Yeah.
I didn't know if I was alone on that or not.
Something
I'm like, I need to know what brine means if that's a secret
At
ingredient.
Thanksgiving, they talk about brining your turkey.
Sure.
So it's the same concept. We just brine our potatoes like that.
And you've been using the same potato since day one.
Forever. Yeah.
Oh my
Same
gosh.
thing with the roast beef. We've not changed our recipe with our roast beef since we started. And
How has
so-
Lion Choice evolved since 1967?
That's a good question. I'll tell you how we're evolving right now.
Okay.
And that is that our OG, our original sandwich, our original roast beef will always be on our menu and always be a fan favorite, right? But what we've done over the past year and a half is we've developed sandwiches that are more premium, like the El Cubano. That's part of our premium menu. The first sandwich on our premium menu is called the Remix, and I actually brought you a remix
Oh
today.
gosh, are you gonna
And
taste it and
so-
let us know what it tastes like, Gordon? You need
So
to bite
really,
into
the
it.
reason we named
Am
it
I doing
remix is because
I
we
see
remixed
remix, right?
the original sandwich.
The remix.
So
It's right
it's
there.
our roast beef, but it's on Texas toast.
Love Texas
Oh.
And
toast.
we put the Swiss cheese on it.
Love Swiss
and
cheese.
Also garlic aioli. a premium
Love garlic
sauce.
aioli too.
So he's
So,
happy. Let's
yes,
see,
so
let's see
that's
his
our
face.
remix
Let's
sandwich.
do
Here we
this.
go. You need to lick your lips now. You have garlic aioli. There you go. Good job. They'll come
I
out the
love that.
side.
You should have told him that. I wasn't
Just
gonna
left
do
it there.
I was just gonna have it.
No, I need a
I
napkin.
was getting a napkin. He's gonna walk into the.
But so and I also brought you, of course, the OG, the original sandwich. So we're evolving in terms of doing more premium things with our menus. So we are what we are. We're a roast beef company, but we can also do more premium sandwiches with the cheese added, premium sauce, those types of things. So we have the remix, we have the El Cubano, and we also have something called the triple dare, which is the roast beef, turkey, and ham all on one sandwich, Texas toast with a honey horseradish.
So the Texas toast, that would be new then, right? I don't
You know-
remember seeing that on the menu, but that doesn't mean.
That I'm glad you mentioned that because it's not new.
Yeah.
We've always had Texas toast, and how we got to the remix is it's an employee hack. That's how our employees were making their sandwiches. And so we're like, well, why don't we just
Do
put that
too.
on the menu? And so we added the garlic aioli. That was something new. But our employees actually give us a lot of creative ideas because if the employees are eating it, our customers are going to eat it.
You know, a time like this, it's hard to keep good teams. How do you think the Lion Choice, what do you think your specialty is to keep longevity and keep your team in a fast food business?
It's hard, but I'll tell you what, I am so proud.
The Texas toast.
Yeah, I am so proud to say that we have employees that have been with our brand for 40 years. I'm
Wow.
not kidding. We
Made
have
my
a
hair stand.
gentleman that just probably within the past month, he's a general manager at one of our stores in O'Fallon, Missouri, celebrated his 40th anniversary with us. And that's not unusual. We probably have 30 plus employees that have been with us longer than 25 years. That's really unheard of in a quick service
Oh,
restaurant
sure.
business. And so we're proud of that. So we have some longevity there. And I think it's a couple of reasons. We try to take care of our employees the best we can. And we're a local brand. People like to work for us, right?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of cool to
Yeah.
wear the lion, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of, that's kind of a neat thing, especially if you're from St. Louis. And we just have really great team members.
You have the ability to start at the counter and be able to move up
Absolutely.
in the,
Absolutely.
and have you been there a while yourself, or are you newer to Lion's Choice?
So I tell you what, I started in January of last year, and this is an interesting story. I've always wanted to work for Lion's Choice in my career.
Really? Tell us why.
So I think I manifested it some way, right? And so finally, I got my dream job. So I've been with Lion's Choice a year and a half.
So
and I
tell us
love it.
how'd you manifest it? How did that happen? That, like, were you a kid who loved the food, or how does that,
I've been a Lion's Choice fan for as long as I can remember, and my marketing career has been in the restaurant business. And I've always, you ask any of my friends, my family, I've always said, I want to work for Lion's Choice one day. And so it just so happened that I got the job, and they're not going to get rid of me. I'm here forever.
It's not going anywhere.
As long as you have something to say about it, right?
As long as I have
Yeah,
something to say about it, that's
I'm
right.
not giving my
Yeah.
t-shirt back. That's all I have to say.
You know what's cool about Lion's Choice that I like, because some people like their beef kind of rare, with some medium rare and some medium well. And I like the fact that you can do that. You can't go to a burger joint and get that. You
Well,
couldn't
you
go into
can, you can order
McDonald's
it
and
different
go,
ways.
Mhm.
I want my, medium rare.
Yes.
McDonald's isn't gonna do that for you.
You
You're
can
getting
order
what you
it
get.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We like to say you can order it like you order your steak. So
I did
I love that.
I did not know
all the way
that.
down to
Yeah.
rare. Yes. Now we serve it rare, or medium rare, but
If
you
you
can
ask.
order it, yes, but you
Yeah.
can order it. We can cook it to any temperature that you like. So that's part of the customization of it, right? So you can choose a different bread. You didn't know it had Texas toast, but you can choose any of our sandwiches on Texas toast or on a wheat bun. We have a gluten-free bun. If you have dietary restrictions, any of our sandwiches can come on those. We have a brioche bun. To the cheeses, we have all kinds of cheeses you can add. And then to our sauce bar, people really like our sauce bar and all the
So what kind of
different
sauces? I see you brought those too. What's the sauce that
Yes,
you're
so I
known
brought you,
for?
because these are the two that are most popular. So I brought you our barbecue sauce and our horseradish as well. But we have Chipotle ranch, we have honey mustard. That's my favorite, because they get the turkey so much. So you should try the honey mustard on your turkey.
Okay.
We have two kinds of barbecue. We have the horseradish, as I mentioned. So people mix them, and do their own combination, and it's really interesting, the different customization.
Now, Lion's Choice is also known, which I didn't know it. You're known for you have custard shakes.
Frozen custard.
So I've been missing out on that. I did not know
Well, the
that.
shakes are good.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you knew that. If there's ice cream, Gordon will find it a mile away. I'll sniff it out. But
Yes.
custard is so much better than an ice cream shake. In
We
my opinion.
have great custard and always have had really good custard. But what I brought today for you guys is what we're known for, which is our orange cream.
Oh,
And
wow.
So
Okay.
good. My
Come on,
favorite.
Kel.
Sometimes
Okay,
that's
gotta try
what I do
this.
for lunch, actually, is I'll just have an orange cream for lunch.
It's taking a minute. Hang
Yeah,
on.
I know they made them for you fresh, so they probably haven't melted very much, but
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
very, very good.
It's
my
heavenly.
favorite. But we have strawberry shakes, chocolate shakes, all of that as well. We have sundaes and we have concretes. But also people really like our little mini cone. It's the miniature cone that we've had since the beginning that used to be a nickel. Unfortunately, we can't charge a nickel anymore.
Yeah, a lot of
But
things
it's
used to
just
be a
little-
nickel.
Yeah, it's just a little.
How do you know
mini
why they
cone.
make nickels anymore?
Yeah, we need to go to the penny line when nickels
They're
come
not,
in.
they're not using it anywhere. Now, is Lion's Choice outside of St. Louis at
No,
all?
just here.
I was
Just
gonna
here
ask
in
that
St.
too.
Louis. Yes, just.
Yeah,
in
do
St.
they
Louis.
plan on expanding
We
at
would
any
love
time?
to expand, and that's always something that we think about. How do we have success outside of St. Louis? We talk about that all the time within our leadership team. And so, yes, fingers crossed that this is something that can go regional without a doubt.
So this is the first Ultimate Sandwich Smackdown. right?
Yes.
So we're gonna have another one next year.
People are pressuring me to do that. So, yeah, we'll see. Wouldn't that be nice if we just have these belts all over town, each year somebody else has a new belt, but yeah, you'll have to enter. Okay. You'll have to
Into your sandwich and
Yes.
see what you can come up
Yes,
with. Does it have an
exactly.
egg on it?
Don't
I was
have
saying
eggs in.
he
No,
made
I
that
don't
use all the
have eggs.
ingredients.
Oh, we have to
I
use
don't
their
have
ingredients.
eggs.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can't. That one's out then.
You like sandwiches with eggs?
No, I tease him because he makes the best eggs. So I'm like, if there's this dish, other people like his eggs too.
A runny yolk egg might be pretty good on a roast beef sandwich.
A runny old yeg.
You know that where the
Runny
yellow,
yolk,
yeah,
yeah,
kind
yolk.
of runny.
Down a little
That's hard to
bit.
say, a runny.
It is. I didn't say it right.
Yolk.
It came out all messed up when I did it, so I didn't even try again.
Pretty good roast beef.
Now, would this sandwich stay then
Mhm.
on the menu? It's not
Yes.
one of those where,
Yes.
It comes and it's here for a little
No,
bit and
we
everybody
plan for it to stay on.
on the menu. So if you do this again next year, that sandwich menu is
Yeah,
gonna keep
exactly.
growing.
I'm gonna have to think about that. I might have to get
Fine.
bigger menu boards.
If you have all the same ingredients, it's not like you have to go out and get something
stores.
different then.
That's exactly right.
Are you a longtime native of St. Louis? Have
Yes.
you always been here then? I guess so, since you've been in love with
Yeah.
Lion's Choice forever.
Yeah.
I'm really so surprised to know that Lion's Choice isn't outside, that
Mhm.
it hasn't been, I don't
I
even
am too. I thought it was, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I thought it was
Mhm.
like, yeah, a major.
Kansas City and
A
where.
lot of folks think that it's more of a regional or national brand. I've noticed
Yeah.
that two people have asked me that.
You're
And
right
we live
like
in
that.
Newtown,
Uh-huh.
and it took me the longest time to realize there was a Lion's Choice
Elm
right,
Point.
Elm Point, right
Yes,
there.
right there.
Yeah, I was like,
Right there.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
You might even be able to
I
walk
didn't
or
know
ride your
that.
bike there. Yeah, it's really close.
Ride your bike back.
Electric bike.
Get your shake and ride your bike back.
Put my electric bike.
Yeah.
I'm not losing anyway.
But yeah, but tell Jim. Jim runs that store for us. Go tell him hi. They do a great job at Elm.
And how does Lion's Choice involve themselves within the community? Is that something that they pride
Always,
themselves on? Tell us a little bit
always.
about that.
You know, something that I'm really proud of that just happened is we did a roundup campaign after that devastating tornado that happened in May. And during the month of June, we asked our customers, our guests, if they would like to round up their ticket to donate to Operation Food Search and all the efforts they're doing specific to the tornado relief. We raised over $16,000. Our customers raised over $16,000,
Wow.
I should say. And so that is one thing that we just gave our customers an opportunity to just give back a little bit, and they just surprised us so much with their generosity. But that's what our customers did. We are engaged in all kinds of donations for local nonprofits, schools, churches, whether or not it's a gift basket that we give for their silent auction or to raffle off, or coupons that go in goodie bags or what have you. And then we also at our restaurants do dine-in fundraisers where your group can come in, and during a certain amount of time, what we sell, we give a percentage back to your organization. We call those dine-in fundraisers. And so, yeah, we have all kinds of opportunities to get involved. And our managers and our store employees are always up for that too. They love doing community service and community work and do volunteer and stuff like that.
What's been your highlight being now over a year?
Yes.
With Lion's Choice, what do you think, or what has inspired you or motivated you the most to keep doing what you're doing and be so involved and in love with your position at Lion's Choice?
I love our employees. I really do. Every store that I go into, I love talking to our employees. They have such great ideas on what we should do. They're so connected with our guests. They'll actually introduce me to guests that they know that are sitting in the dining room. They'll say, hey, do you know so-and-so, Tina? And I just love that about our brand, that it really does feel like a family. And I guess I didn't really know that about Lion's Choice, kind of being from the outside, just how connected they are to their guests and how much the employees are the brand, right? And that's what I love the most.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're from St. Louis. You've lived here your whole life. So if you were someone's new coming to St. Louis, besides telling them, of course, to go to Lion's Choice and try out the new El Cubano,
Yeah.
Bano, where would you recommend a place to go and visit? It doesn't have to be food. What would be your go-to choice for St. Louis?
That's a tough
Or the
question.
Lou, I should say.
We have a lot of great things.
Yeah.
And so I can tell you the other iconic restaurants in St. Louis, I would encourage people to visit. So for instance, Pasta House, which is right outside the
Sure.
door, right? That's an iconic, Emo's is another iconic brand, right?
Toasted ravioli,
Yes,
right?
yes, of course, Ted Drew's, all the usuals. But it's just, the fact that we have so many concepts like Lion's Choice that are still kicking, they're still good, they haven't changed, it's a good thing. I think that's what I would recommend, is go see those icons that have been around the block, that are long in the tooth, so to speak.
Oh,
That's
that's
what I would tell
wonderful.
somebody.
Well, we appreciate talking about Lions Choice, sharing some of your items from your delicious menu, and congratulations to Ben winning the Lion Choice iconic or the iconic St. Louis restaurants sandwich of the year, Smackdown, right? Is that what it is?
Right.
Lions Choice Smackdown. So that's phenomenal. We appreciate your time
Thank
here
you
with
so
us.
much. It was really nice spending some time with you guys.
Thank you so much, and for sharing also your dish that would be on your that would win the championship as well. So,
Yes.
well, we've got a great show tomorrow. EJ Glazier on the show. I don't have it in front of me. Do I have my next one on of who we have with our show with us? All right, so we've got Soul Strings, of course, with EJ Glazier, and then Streets of St. Charles. Alyssa Huska is going to be coming in talking about everything that's going on over there. So some fun stuff happening as well. So I hope you've enjoyed here at In Your City Show with us. Please go to luinfo.com, subscribe, check out all the great shows. My gosh, Joe De Niro is going to be coming back. He's going to be on the KLIS 590. Victoria Babu, my friend, well, Joe's my friend too. In fact, I texted them both today. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're going to be part of the show. So a lot of great guests. We will see you tomorrow right here on luinfo.com In Your City Show. I definitely need to have a sandwich because my brain's not working. Help me out. Take us out of here.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Cheers.